So the Brooklyn subway shooter has been nabbed. Yes, he has been caught. And he has been taken into police custody. Breaking news. It reads, Brooklyn shooting suspect Frank James taken into police custody. The madman who opened fire on a Brooklyn subway car and left 29 injured, 10 of them shot, has been taken into custody. Law enforcement sources told the Post on Wednesday. Frank James, 62, was named by cops as a sole person of interest after a man in a gas mask, helmet, and neon construction vest threw 2 smoke grenades and opened fire on strap hangers while riding the Manhattan-bound N train just before 8:30 a.m. Tuesday. James rented a U-Haul van linked to the attack, authorities said during the news conference on Tuesday. The suspect has posted several rambling, conspiracy-laden YouTube videos railing against the city's mental health services, complaining about race issues, and speaking violently against people he believes wronged him. He rails against Mayor Eric Adams in one of his rants where he claims a race war will follow the Ukraine conflict. It's just a matter of time before these white MFers decide, hey, listen, enough is enough. These ends got to go, he says. And what are you going to do? Are you going to fight? And guess what you going to die? Because unlike President Volodymyr Zelensky over in Ukraine, nobody has your back. The whole world is against you. And you're against your effing self. So why should you be alive again is the effing question. Why should a NR be alive on this planet besides to pick cotton or chop sugarcane or tobacco? In another video, he tells a rival from his youth, I need to see you bleed, and vows to watch him die like a rat. He suggested Ukraine war could be a false flag to set off population control and said he believes a racial war could follow nuclear war. And these mother effers have made us all deaf. We are all deaf, and somebody got to go. And that's going to be you, he said in one of the videos. He says black people have been domesticated and conform to white people's standards, but knows many people of color can't see it, which says you want to die and you should be effing dead because you can't see it. You don't effing understand it and ain't trying to understand ish, he says. 10 victims were wounded by gunfire in Tuesday's subway attack, including a pregnant woman who shot in the leg. According to law enforcement, at least 19 people were injured in the incident, while others suffered from smoke inhalation. The gunman's 9mm semi-automatic Glock jams in the middle, which may have prevented further carnage, law enforcement officials said. It wasn't clear how the gunman made the getaway from the scene, but police were investigating whether he mixed in with the wave commuters as they transferred to the R train. Amateur footage showed people running, screaming, and in terror as the doors on the train opened as it pulled to the 36th Street station in Sunset Park. A key to the U-Haul was found at the scene of the shooting, sources said. A credit card found at the scene was linked to James and showed charges for a gas mask, smoke bombs, and a van rented in Philadelphia, law enforcement sources said. Cops believe he was living in a van, the sources added. This man ain't even from here. They say this man is from Philadelphia by way of Wisconsin. I got a problem with my city wilding the F out. Because this is not what we do as New Yorkers. I'm not saying that we cookie cutter and we crispy clean and we innocent. But we don't wreak havoc on a subway train and have shootouts in the early mornings, okay? We don't walk up to people and shoot people in broad daylight. We don't do that. But here's the problem. The problem that's going on is that we have been lax with our law enforcement, with crime since the pandemic. And that's the problem. That's the problem that's going on. We've been dealing with a lot of pacifying since the pandemic. We've been dealing with a lot of laxing. We've been dealing with a lot of not really even monitoring what's been going on. And it's bad. It's bad. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I've always been a person that preferred to walk wherever I go. Even if I'm like in the Upper West Side of Manhattan, I will easily walk from, let's say, I would say 86th Street to home. That's how I've always been. And the reason why is because I prefer to walk. But I never had like a fear of, oh, get on a train, get on a bus. You know, and I'm not going to, brag. Like, there's some times where I'll peep something and I'll be like, oh, it's not good. I'll wait until the next stop and I will jump off. Not even walk off. I will jump off. Especially if it's like within a crowd. Because I know, like, listen, it's better for me to walk a lot of times than to me to ride. Because you never know these people. And it's just like, I always stay prayed up. My family, we all stay prayed up because we do take the subway. Because this is my city. My family's been living in this city really consistently for 93 years. For 93 years. Okay? And this city is wilding because of Soros policies. Let's keep it a bean. These Soros policies are whack as F. And anybody that votes for any politician that's a social democrat, that is a socialist or a communist in my city, you're bugging. First of all, this is the financial capital of the world. How you going to have these kind of policies in the financial capital world? When finances itself is rooted in conservatism. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I'm going to say, I'm not a Republican. I want that to be known. But here's the thing. What's going on in New York City has to do with Soros-funded politicians running it. And they're running it into chaos because they want the laws lax. See, when you had people running a city that had a law and order mentality, you didn't have this because they knew that they would go to jail for a long time. This man may not go to jail. They'll put him in like the mental facility like they did John Hinckley Jr. He's 62. Big deal. So what? He don't care. He didn't even fight the police when they arrested him. That tells you everything right there. And the man, my only thing is the man has bad knees. I seen like a little footage of the walk. There's no way they could not have been able to catch him. And that's what's bothering everybody. Now, people haven't been really seriously hurt, so to speak. Like there are like people, everybody's expected to, survive, which is a good thing. But the thing is that this should never happen, which is why I think that they do need to have cops on every subway platform and every train, inside every train car. I hate to say it, but until people stop doing this type of stuff, it's going to send a message like, no, you're not going to come into the city or live in the city and act a fool. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Believe it or not, New York City is one of the safest cities in the world. I know it may sound, a little fathomable because unfathomable because of the fact that many people watch a lot of crime shows based in New York. But I've lived in the city, and I could tell you, this city is one of the safest cities definitely in the country. And it used to be in the world. And Eric Adams, stop trying to bring swag into the city and get this city back to how it was 10 years ago. Because with all the gentrification going on, all the high rises y'all built, all the businesses that came in, if you continue to let the city go the way it is, all these businesses going to pull out. And the New York City is going to go back to how it was 30 years ago. And it's going to be all for nothing. And I'm going to end it on this note. Thank you for listening. Click subscribe, comment, share, and I'll talk to you soon. Later.